What's up everybody, welcome to this special episode of the KTM 250 rebuild. This is a special episode because we're going to reveal the first part of the design of the KTM 250. The frame is back and has been powder coated with a new fresh color. So stay tuned if you want to see which color we picked. As well, we are going to prepare the frame for reassembling and we will be replacing the bearing of the headset. So we have enough to do in this episode, so let's dive right into it. So here we go everybody, we are going to reveal the color of the frame. Let's go. And by the way, I wish I could have seen your reaction, so please let me know in the comments. That's it. It's a very nice purple blue candy powder coat. So it's very fresh and a very nice and bright color. Also, when there is not too much light on it, it's quite dark, so it switches from color. So I picked this color because it's fitting in with the complete design of the whole bike. But yeah, that's something for later. So before we brought it to the company that powder coated it, we put bolts in every spot that have bolts in there, so that the thread is not going to fill up with coating. And also we had to take out the coolant hose or pipe that was in here. So to be able to do that, we needed a special tool from KTM. It was a socket with little grooves in it, and then we could drive this pipe out, and then you're able to pull this one out. Also closed off the headset with some kind of caps and a long threaded end, so no powder coating is going into the headset. So all those things, we're going to remove them now, so let's do that now. These are just all random old bolts that don't have to be used again. A little bit hard to get out, but this way the inside stays perfectly clean. That did go better than I thought. It's quite some job to put all those bolts in, but I'm glad that we did it. Otherwise you have to put new thread in all of them. This is way better. Let's do the headset. Now we only need to get these caps off. Push the top side off from the bottom. So that's it, we have all the bolts out of the frame now, except for these ones. These were already in here. For now we want to replace the bearings of the headset as well. You can see there's a lot of rust and dirt in the bottom one. You can imagine if there is any dirt or water going into the headset, then it's always going to drop on the bottom one. So the bottom one will be worse. You can just buy a set of 2 and you have all the sealings and the bearings and also these rings on which the bearings run onto. You need to drive them out of the frame, so we're going to do that now. You can just use a screwdriver for this with a hammer. I don't know if you can see it, but there's an edge in there. And you can just put your screwdriver on there and then drive it through. That's one. Perfect. So it should look like this now. And from the top it looks like this. It's just an edge to hold the bearing in. So you can just put the outer scale in here. I'm going to Andre Motors, the KTM dealer again, to put the coolant pipe back in here. And they're going to put this bottom bearing on here. This bearing needs to be pressed on here. We're just going to take this treble clamp to the dealer and we're going to let them set this one in place. Furthermore, we're going to replace all those bearings. Now that we have everything taken apart, we're just going to put a whole new set of bearings in here. We're going to buy a bearing set with the sealings, the bearing itself and the pans that are in here and also for the swing arm. We're just going to the dealer now, get all the parts we need. So I will see you in a minute. So we're back from Andre Motors, the KTM dealer, and we got all the parts that we need. So we got a bearing kit for the linkage. So that includes those 3 and this one. So it comes with everything that needs to go in there. So that's quite nice. Also we have the swing arm bearings, so that are those 2, and also the headset bearings. One of them they already placed on there for me. It's sealing and the bearing itself. So also they mounted the coolant hose in here, or coolant pipe, and one thing they did as well is placing the outer rings of the headset bearings. That's on the bottom and also on the top. What we're going to do now is clean some of the powder coat off the frame in certain places. So for example, the engine bolts will not fit through there anymore, so we need to clean them up with a drill, a file or a Dremel. And we're going to do the same with the swing arm axle and the pans for your foot pegs, as well the axle for the linkage and the bolt for the rear brake. One thing more is for your ignition. The ignition need to be earthed onto the frame, so we need to clean up this whole area so it makes a good electrical contact. So we're going to do that on these 2. When we're going to place the engine, we need to clean up the insides of the frame as well, but we will look at that later. So first we're going to clean up those holes. See if it can fit through. We completely go through there now. So that's good. So from the rear brake will fit through there as well now. So I'm going to do the inside for the swing arm axle with the file. You can clearly hear a metal sound when you're hitting the metal, so don't get too much off there. If it fits through, then it's enough. So that's enough on that side. Let's do the other side. So that will fit through there as well now. Let's do the one of the linkage. So one side will fit through now. Let's do the other side. So now it will fit completely through. Let's do the services for the ignition now with the Dremel. So those are nice and clean now. So now we're going to do this top edge. There needs to be a rubber seal to sit in this edge. It's best to have this nice and clean. So now the excess of the powder coat is off there. And we can place the seal nice and easy in there. So now we're going to clean it up around the engine mount so that the bolt is making a good connection with the frame. So the only thing we need to do is make sure that the pens of the foot pegs can run through. Just like that. The drill that I use is a 10mm, so that's just as wide as the pen itself. Just like that. So that's it for the frame now. If we in a later stadium see that we need to take something off as well, we will do that later. So for example, for the rear shock, maybe we need to take some off. So for now it's okay, and we can proceed with the bearings of the swing arm and the link. That was all for this episode. I'm very happy with how the frame turned out. Let me know in the comments what you think of it, and if it would be a color that you would pick. So now that we have prepared the frame, we can almost start building up the bike again. So I'm very excited to be able to do that again. But first we need to replace the bearings of the swing arm and the linkage. So we're going to do that in the next episode. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And by subscribing to the channel and liking the videos, you help out the channel a lot. So thanks for watching, and as always, see you next time.